Hey you, dickhead! So you're sitting in queue as killer but have no idea how to play Warlord and you're too lazy to hop into trading mode to learn him. Well, here's how to play Warlord in 7 minutes or less to help you become a goddamn Warlord prodigy. Alright, let's start with the normals. Warlord has two normals, his left and right click. Left click is your standard normal attack. The hitbox is actually somewhat smaller than others, but maybe I'm just tripping. Hold your right click to bring your shield up. Your shield will block projectile attacks like those from Archer or Talismaner and even the Root Seal. And also for some unknown fucking reason, it also blocks hit from Master, so, do whatever you want with that. You're also slowed by a little bit when you raise a shield, but the amount is so minuscule that you're basically not slowed down at all, so just use the shit whenever you want. That's pretty much it for normals. Let's talk about his abilities now. His one ability, the charge. Press it once to charge forward in a straight line. Survivors who are hit are knocked back, and those who are knocked back into a wall take bonus damage. So just think of it as Doomfist charge from Overwatch. Survivors who are knocked back would also go into a recovery state. This means that survivors won't be able to move until they get back up on their feet. Furthermore, when you upgrade the ability to level 3, survivors who are hit from the charge have their armor reduced for the next couple seconds, which leave them vulnerable to getting down from your next normal attack. His second ability, the Suck. When casted, Warlord will slowly pull anyone towards him. Keep in mind this shit also pulls people who are behind a wall. During the pull, Warlord can also turn his body to change the direction of the pull. At the end of the cast time, Warlord will release his roar, and any survivors hit by it will slightly be damaged and lose one psych and also be briefly slow. You could also reactivate the ability to end the pull early and release the roar. His third ability, the Barricade. Warlord will spawn a barricade at the targeted location. Keep in mind that Warlord can also spawn the barricade through walls, which makes it a good zoning material. Warlord can freely move through the barricade, but survivors would have to vault over it. Warlord can also reactivate the ability to make the barricade explodes, which deals big damage to survivors. When upgraded to level 2, the barricade can be pulled in by your 2 ability. When upgraded to level 3, the barricade when spawned would also release this red ring on the ground, which we'll talk about now. His ultimate ability, the Rings of Death. When casted, for the next 15 seconds, Warlord can send out rings that would damage survivors, slow them down, and disable them from sprinting. The more rings survivors get hit by, the more slow they become to the point where they basically won't be able to move at all. Warlord can send out 2 versions of the ring. An air one or a ground one. Left click to send out an air ring and right click to send out a ground ring. Survivors can dodge the air rings by crouching and they can dodge the ground one by jumping. The timing to dodge the ground ones are really fucking hard though, so spam your ground rings more. The more you upgrade the ability, the higher damage it does to survivors. Alright, so that's all of Warlord's abilities. Now, which one should you max out first? Personally for me, I like maxing the Barricade ability first to immediately get that extra ring and more zoning potential. You could also choose to max the Charge ability first to get that armor reduction. Those 2 abilities are intertwined, so max whichever you want first, but you should always max one of those first. After that, upgrade your ultimate, and then lastly, max your pull ability last. Alright, now, let's get into the gameplay. Warlord is very easy. He could be a little lackluster early game as he's pretty slow, but if survivors get within range of your ultimate, it's game over for them. Warlord lacks range attacks but excels at close combat. If survivors are running in a straight line or right next to you, just charge at their ass. Remember to avoid using your charge in open areas. Instead, use it in closed areas where walls surround you guys, as you always want that bonus damage when ramming survivors into the wall. Your 2 ability is also very good in almost any scenario. You see someone running away from you? Suck thy ass. You see someone collecting a shard? Suck thy ass. You see someone repairing an array? Suck thy ass. Yeah, the fact that he could suck people that are behind walls is pretty nuts. Don't forget that your 2 ability also takes away a survivor's sight, which is one step closer to them being moried. Your 3 ability makes a great zoning barricade tool. If you see survivors going through a hole or a door, just drop a wall in front of them. Remember that you could reactivate the ability to detonate the barricade, so any survivors get near the barricade, just blow thy ass up. You could also just drop a barricade through a wall on anyone who's repairing an array to kick them off it. Lastly, your ultimate ability excels on small maps. Rely on your ultimate ability in any chase, as it's your best tool. During a chase, you don't even have to stop using your ultimate even when you caught up to them. Just keep using it until they're slowed down to oblivion so you can get your guaranteed hits. Alright, survivors, how do you counter him? Honestly, the best thing you can do is always keep your distance against him. Remember, when Warlord uses his air rings, you can crouch under that, but if he uses his ground rings, it's gonna take more than just crouching. Being near stairs is really good against Warlord, as you always want to try and get to a different Y level than him. Stairs are really good, as if he's using the ground ring, just run up or down the floor. If there's no stairs nearby, best thing you can do is dash jump or jump on top of something. But if you're within striking distance, then you best have that Requiem charm ready. As survivors, you can use your Requiem charm to completely negate the damage from his charge ability, but you'll still have your armor reduced if you get hit by it. If Warlord is using his pull ability on you, if you're a survivor who has a dash or leap, then try to use that to get away. If you're someone who doesn't have any of those, the best thing you can do is take advantage of the pull and run straight at him. Warlord players will usually not expect you to run straight at them, so it could work sometimes, but just remember that Warlord can change the direction of his pull very quickly, so the strategy isn't that effective, but it's better than just slowly getting pulled to your death. Lastly, Warlord's Barricade ability. If Warlord spawns a barricade in front of you in a chase, don't just run at it, try to look for different alternatives. If there's a path to your left or right, a door to your left or right, run through that. But if you're in a straight pathway, there's only two things you can do. Dash jump over the barricade, or once again, just fucking run the opposite way, which is straight at him. Most killers in the game will never expect you to run towards them in any scenario. So if you do, then they may not expect it and may not be prepared for it. As you can see, that running at the killer is a pretty common strategy in this game. Make sure you always have a Requiem charm at all times when doing this strategy in case the killer is about to attack you. Alright, and that's it. Good luck on your Warlord journey.